Okay, so this is how I make my Stormcast Eternals bases. This is super sculpey that I've just rolled out pretty thin and then used a ruler and a piece of wire to put an interesting design in it. I just take this and then bake it so it's hard and durable, glue it onto my 40 mil base, chip away what I don't want, and it leaves a pattern that looks something like that. And this is just the natural breaking you get with super sculpey on the edges. It wasn't any kind of weird sculpting or anything I did. I then primed this base that was the pink and black you saw a second ago. I primed it with the primer I always use, automotive primer sandable from Duplicolor. This is their dark gray. Primed it all over with that, nice and durable. And then from the top down, gave it a light coat of the Army Painter, skeleton bone. So that takes us to this point. So I have a 40 mil base. We've got our first layer of color. And now something I've talked a lot about or shown people a little bit is that Minitaire Ghost Tints can be used a lot like an oil wash. So I'll show you that now, and we'll end up with something that looks like this, and you can see how the details are much better. All right, so I've got my airbrush loaded up, very low pressure, with just some of the Minitaire Ghost Tint Brown. I am spraying around, really focusing on getting all those little nooks and crannies and the detail lines that I created with the ruler and piece of wire. Just kind of hitting some of the texture. I also roll this out over a piece of tin foil, so I get some kind of interesting, more, I guess, natural rock textures as well. So there we go, just again filling in the deeper cuts where I'm going to want the darker texture to show up, just like you do with the wash. All right, so that's done. Airbrush down. You can, putting the airbrush down. All right. You can see how pretty aggressive in my coating there. Right here, I have a paper towel, very lightly damp. Just ran some, or just used a squirt bottle and coated it real quickly, so it's just lightly damp to the touch. There is the Ghost Tint covered base, and I just start wiping. And you can see how it starts to come away. The more I rub, the more it comes away, but because much like you do with a dry brush or anything else, the paper towel can't get down into the nooks and crannies. It doesn't take away where I don't want. If I hit that textured edge right there, you can see it takes away a little bit and leaves some of the detail showing, and it just fills in the shadows. Obviously, you're going to need quite a few paper towels to go through this because you can see it chews them up pretty good. But in the end, we end up with a base that is now interesting and textured, as opposed to the one that is not. All right. Cool. Thanks. Let me know what you think.